clock will stop running rather with less than 4 to go in both halves. Trevor Etienne back deep to receive. This Adam Mahalik kick. And from the goal line, off and running in Gainesville. 7 in white, rushing ahead to the 20.
It was pretty bland there in Wisconsin. He gets a chance now to be in full control of this offense with a lot of options.
Backside pressure. Mertz will sling it out to his running back, Montrell Johnson. Makes a nice move. And let's see where they whistle this back.
It's back at a 25. That's one of the things that was a strength last year that I'm a little concerned heading into this season.
Well, you mentioned the injuries, and you see the touch or the hit that would have taken place. Waits has been out. Obviously, that's something for us to talk about. Xavier Henderson, a catch. Said, in terms of how quickly he picked this thing up. Here comes pressure. Austin Armstrong will dial it up, and Mertz going to be hit back near the 25, and that'll be 4th down to make that Pearsall. Watkins will kick it away. Couple of bounces. Whistle dead inside the 32, a punt of 43. Miller, of course, we saw him extensively in the Vegas Bowl. Redeem himself. And a deep ball. Double coverage. And the pass was reeled in. Aidan Mizell, penalty marker is down. Toombs, the corner.
What do they do first play?
Defense number 37. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Take a shot there. That's the Mizell. Too much for the arm. Ends up having to come back for it. That's one of the good things about playing the wide receiver position. You get to see the football. The corner's got his back turned. On underthrown balls, you can either go up and make a play or get the contact there that gets you the 15-yard pass interference.
Like we popped up with it, but the ball obviously caromed right underneath. 15-yard pass interference penalty. The handoff, Trayon Webb, and we'll check in with Pete Thamel for
yet, but I'm sure our SEC Network colleague maybe we'll pay him back in some green juice from his new shop here in Gainesville.
Oh, I love it. Webb will bounce it off the right side.
It just had a really tough afternoon blocking the Orange team.
Quick toss, Miller, Mizell in and out. His units.
You mentioned Jordan Castell, one of those guys that the coaching staff's talking awful lot about. A freshman here, early enrollee, one of those 27 new faces on
in the backfield. Miller, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. More pressure. He'll roll away from it and be tagged in the process.
And we talked an awful lot about it, Roy. Not supposed to be blitzing, but it has been a blitz fest early on. The defense is getting the best of it so far.
Running back, pistol look in the second touch for Graham Mertz, the Wisconsin transfer, stretch left. Etienne will weave his way for a yard, and that's about it. Down to Pete Thamel.
Evaluated every quarterback in the portal. They decided Mertz was the best. Napier did not take Mertz without calling Paul Chryst. They had a long conversation. 18-3 record is really going to help him in this fresh start. And Mertz, guys, was very excited about the RPO game. A few less answers for the
good play on against virtually every defense, and hopefully Mertz is able to take what he's been able to learn in the meeting room and apply it out here and get them into those right plays and make sure this offense has
a touch. Jack Miller, Cam Carroll in the game, transfer from Tulane. Over left tackle, picks up some real estate, and it should be enough for a first down. First one we've seen tonight.
College football, which will benefit this team.
Carroll stays on the field. Miller pulls it out and will race into plus territory.
Back does a nice job of keeping his eyes on his key, pulls it. Nobody out there on the edge to contain, and picks up a big gain.
Now Miller, you go back to a season ago, the thumb injury set him back early. That was issue to overcome. Pressure again, that's been consistent tonight. He'll heave it out of bounds. Second down and 10, by the way. Bryce Thornton's dad played running back at Georgia back in the day. Love to see that if you're a Gator fan. We'll flip it out into the flats, and Scott Isaacs, the penalty marker.
Holding defense number 2. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Includes an automatic first down.
In position for the second year in a row, and there's the hold. Here's one thing to always remember. Last year, Zipper at that position, all out. So some young guys getting an opportunity here in spring and tonight, specifically in the orange blue game.
Cam Carroll bottled up. We were worried about rain earlier in the week. The crowd has showed up. That's great to see. Backside pressure, and Miller got rid of it.
Move the chains. Actually, third down here, I'm sorry. Defensive lines trying to bring in some of those difference makers We know it's a line of scrimmage league, and this team has been deficient, particularly on that they can start to do that, take the pressure off the back end.
Saw Coach Armstrong. Miller, the snap came low, could not catch it cleanly.
The next step forward.
Four-man front, ETN, the running back. Mertz rips it away, wide open, incomplete. And it was Henderson that broke free.
Running wide open, watched the hard play fake. Does a good job of reading a little bit of a trail underneath that made him throw high, but still that the best teams in this conference are going to make.
ETN in the flats.
Offside. Defense number 12. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Gainesville. Still scoreless. Florida spring game. ETN. Nice jump cut around the left side and up for a first down and stopped at the 45. Be 9-yard gain.
With the Jaguars, but an impressive freshman season for that young man.
And the two combined to rush for almost 1,600 yards. This time stopped at the line. No gain.
Trying to think instead of just reacting and playing.
It certainly is a different roster this year. 27 new players enrolling mid-year, including freshmen and through the portal. Contact against Henderson, no flag.
Themselves, the players were buying in, but I think you eventually saw that thinning of the herd a little bit as a lot of guys didn't necessarily fit the culture, didn't fit the future of Tyree Cleveland. So the guy knows how to coach the position. He played it in college, and I love the technician that he is in terms of teaching the details and focusing on the...
Steve Spurrier, and he grew up loving the swamp, even though he was in Alabama. So he graduates from college. He went to a small school, Huntington College. In 2016, he was unemployed, driving around the state of Alabama, handing out resumes. He ends up starting as a GA at West Georgia.
Pete, thank you. Should be the end of the quarter. They will run one more play, and Webb, legs churning along the left side. A nice gain to close things out at the end of the first quarter.